My name is Maria Isa. I am a singer, songwriter, actress, activist. I feel that the inspiration of my work definitely started at a young age from the movement working alongside, or I say working alongside, but being around my mother, who is is still a human rights. Let's not look at the color when we're talking in a circle. Let's talk about the issues. And then we can bring in the color, and you'll see the statistics there. And that's how we can move forward. And if people are neglecting the fact that that racism doesn't exist, they're tripping. I'm gonna say they're tripping. Let's read the headlines. Let's see how much negative is being written and not the positives that are being told about people of color. Our main goal is to unite, not to divide. Our main goal is to educate, because we live in a world where, like I said, history is not being told how it's came up. We can't be figuring it out that everybody wants us to live in a Disney world, and it's not going to happen that way, because we obviously know that there is pros, there's cons, and a lot of the cons are the evidence of the racial barriers that are placed. It's about learning more a little bit about ourselves and being able to engage in conversations with people who may not want to even hear it, but enforcing that. And those hashtags and those tags and those tweets are what enforces that. If you have 13,000 people retweeting something regarding the video that's happened, or a movement that's escalating behind health rights or the DREAM Act, that's a momentum that boosts that energy. However, it's not just retweeting it. Let's take it out, and like I said, let's talk about it. Let's have a circle. You don't have to be a musician or a professional. You have it right here in your soul and your heart. And everybody knows it's right, and everybody knows it's wrong. I feel like I was born to be an artist. It wasn't to say I want to make movies right now, or I can do. It was more like I can do it. It's just a natural feeling. It's kind of interesting. I'm sure all artists can feel the same. You do it because you're passionate. There's a difference. Some people do it thinking that there's a big ticket or a big Lamborghini waiting for them outside. However, the activism part is something that I learned that I had to do when I seen so many issues happen to people, to myself, and utilizing the art to be able to express to people maybe don't want to hear it. I grew up going to school with, people who their parents were racist. You know what I'm saying? Did not want me to bring up the issues that we overcome, or did not like maybe who my mom and I were attending their political campaigns, and I try to take away like the political stance of who to endorse. I'm more about who's speaking my story and who feels and who's actually out on those streets working with it. That activism part came about saying, I was probably 11 years old, and that's at the time when I recognized I can make a difference. I don't have to go that route. I don't want to be a statistic. I want to go ahead and try and make sure that those who are blindfolded to seeing that they're going to be in a statistic, I want to help them take that off. I want them to know that we have a right, and whether you want to be in medical school, in law school, everybody has a power and a force. Whether you want to create and design shoes, we all can work together and find and fuel a better tomorrow for children and people of color. If I can inspire my grandmother, who's 95 years old, to think a different way from her values, 80 years ago, it's like hold a globe in your hand. Look at the world. See, yes, it's big, but recognize how small it is, and recognize how much you can leave an effect on it if you were to interact with so many different people and create positivity. Racism song. I have a song called Steve Jobs.
Okay. Oh, sweet.
It's pretty, it's pretty deep, so, but fun. La sangre llama, no lo puede negar. La historia de los esclavos no se puede olvidar. Cada día trabajamos, tienen que respetar, tienen que respetar, tienen que respetar. Steve Jobs, Steve Jobs. Took all the jobs, locked up the mob, paid off the cops, poisoned the crops, put us in a box, and we're still dying from pork chops. Steve Jobs, career sabotage, burned down the mosque, set fires to the fires, raised up the costs, gentrified the block and put a Whole Food in the Bronx. The economy's a rap, the ghetto is a trap, the president is black and the mayor smoking crack. Even though the war is all about the poor, can't afford Tom Ford, can't ignore Rob Ford. Record labels won't even pay for your tour. The devil wants more, the devil wants more. East 94 with my pedal to the floor, thinking about little Bebel Blood Sugar 94. I know they got a cure, but they want to keep it hidden, secrets. I get it, I need it. I'm at the mall, 30 milligrams of Adderall. Welcome to the Valley of the Dolls. Steve Jobs, took all the jobs, locked up the mob, paid off the cops, poisoned the crops, put us in a box, and we're still dying from pork chops. Steve Jobs, career sabotage, burned down the mosque, set fires to the fires, raised up the costs, gentrified the block and put a Whole Food in the Bronx. Step to the drum, 1 green cigarette, 3 shots of rum. Some say you're crazy if you speak in tongues. Sign of the cross from the nun, but I could be healed by the stars and sun. Said I could be healed by the stars and sun. Snowden on the run, I hope he has a gun, cause when Popo come, they poke a hole in the fun. Puerto Rican rum poured out for Big Pump. Rubber pum pum, tuku tuku dun dun. Black blunt punctured hole in my lung. But wars being won by the songs that are sung. The wars being won by the songs that are sung. The wars being won by the songs that are sung. La sangre llama, no lo puede negar. La historia de los esclavos no se puede olvidar. Cada día trabajamos, tienen que estar, tienen que respetar, tienen que respetar. Steve Jobs.